Somebody out there is hunting the vision, and they don't care who sees them do it. Let that sink in for a second. The most dangerous, most arrogant, most Paul Heyman-backed stable in all of WWE right now, the faction that has Bronson Reed, a man built like a freight train, Logan Paul, a man whose ego is the size of a small continent, and Austin Theory, a guy who genuinely believes he is destined for greatness. That group is being stalked. Week after week. Show after show. And nobody, not Adam Pearce, not the Vision itself, not a single person in that locker room, knows who is doing it or why. But here's what's making everybody lose their minds tonight. The masked man struck again. And this time, he didn't just interfere in a match. He didn't just cost somebody a qualifying spot. He walked right up to Logan Paul after the Vision had already won their match, and he planted Logan face first into the announce table with a curb stomp so brutal, so calculated, and so cold-blooded that the entire arena in Memphis, Tennessee lost it. Logan Paul, the man who sold a Pokemon card for $16 million just days ago. The man who stood at that announce table bragging to Michael Cole like he owned the building. That man got his face driven into wood and steel by someone who just melted back into the crowd before anyone could stop him. And all Logan could say afterward? On WWE's own Instagram page, he commented 4 words, "I'm sick of this guy." 4 words. From a man who never shuts up. That should tell you everything you need to know about how rattled the Maverick truly is right now. And that is just the beginning of what happened on Monday Night Raw from FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Because tonight, the Elimination Chamber field got 2 new entries. AJ Lee put herself so far inside Becky Lynch's head that the man herself retreated from the ring without throwing a single punch. Stephanie Vaquer made Liv Morgan cry. Yes, literally cry on live television. CM Punk went toe-to-toe in a war of words with the returning Judgment Day. There's a mysterious crate backstage that nobody is allowed to open until February 28th, and Oba Femi might be headed to Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, the road to Elimination Chamber in Chicago is getting wild. Let's get into it. Welcome to Ring Rumble. Stay to the end of this video because I am going to break down every single piece of this show, and I have some very specific theories about who is under that mask that I think are going to blow your mind. This is the most important Raw of 2026 so far. Let's go. The show opened the way you want a Raw to open, with pure chaos and electricity. The Usos were making their entrance through the crowd in Memphis, doing their full Yeet experience with the fans. The energy was insane, and for a moment it felt like WWE was just going to let the crowd breathe and enjoy a moment. And then Paul Heyman's music hit. Of course it did. Heyman walked out onto that stage with Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory, and he absolutely killed the vibe, which was entirely the point. Heyman tried to address the crowd, but the Memphis faithful were not having a single syllable of it. They booed so loud Heyman could barely get a word in. So Logan grabbed the mic, told the crowd to shut up, and then did what Logan Paul does best. He made everything about himself. He bragged about selling his Pokemon card for $16 million, which, to be fair, is genuinely insane, and he was going to make sure every single person in that arena knew it whether they cared or not. They threw to footage of last week, where the mysterious masked man cost Austin Theory his Elimination Chamber qualifying match, helping LA Knight and Penta advance. Theory was still furious. He wanted justice. He wanted answers.
He wanted Pearce to do something.
Adam Pearce came out to try and calm things down, but before he could even open his mouth, LA Knight's music hit to one of the loudest pops of the night. Knight came out and did what Knight does. He talked straight to the fans, addressed the chaos, and then stared down the Vision and proposed a 6-man tag team match, himself and the Usos against Reed, Theory, and Logan Paul. Pearce made it official on the spot. Drop your pick in the comments right now. Did you think the Vision or the Usos and LA Knight were winning this match? Let me know. The match itself was about 12.5 minutes of hard-hitting action, and it told a really clean story. The Vision were in control for most of it. Bronson Reed is just an absolute monster. The man was wiping out both Usos simultaneously. Whenever Knight or the Usos built any momentum, Reed was right there to shut it down. The physical size advantage was overwhelming. The finish came when Reed hit a suicide dive to the outside and took out Jey Uso, clearing the way. Logan Paul knocked out Jimmy with his signature right hand, and then Reed came off the top rope with a tsunami splash, that enormous splash that looks like it could actually end someone's career, and that was it. The Vision got the pin. 3-on-3, and the Vision looked dominant. But here's where it gets crazy. After the match, Logan wandered over to Michael Cole at the announce table. Now, look. Logan Paul at the announce table talking trash is peak heel behavior. He puts on Cole's headset. He starts running his mouth. He's celebrating. He's gloating. The Vision just won. Everything is going their way. And then, a figure leaps in from the crowd. Before Logan even knows what hit him, his face is being driven into that announce table and the masked man follows it up with a picture-perfect curb stomp. Logan Paul, who had both Reed and Theory standing right there, got dropped in seconds. Reed and Theory gave chase, and the masked man disappeared into the crowd like smoke. Logan was absolutely seething.
Stunned.
Embarrassed in front of a crowd that already hates him. And for someone who talks as much as Logan Paul, the fact that he couldn't even string together a proper response speaks volumes. Now here's where I need to ask you all something important, because this is the question of 2026 in WWE right now. Who is under that mask? Drop your theory in the comments. Is it Seth Rollins? Sami Zayn? Grayson Waller? Bad Bunny? Jake Paul? I want to read every single theory you've got. Here's what we know. This masked individual first showed up at the Royal Rumble, where they attacked Braun Breaker and got him eliminated early. Then last week they cost Austin Theory his qualifying match. And now they've hit Logan Paul with a curb stomp, which, if you know your finisher history, is Seth Rollins' move. Seth is currently injured and has been absent from television. His wife, AJ Lee, just happened to show up on Raw last week and is now in a title match against Becky Lynch at Elimination Chamber. The timing is suspicious. The move selection is suspicious. And the fact that every member of the Vision has now been targeted, Breaker, Theory, and Logan, suggests this isn't random. This is a deliberate, systematic takedown. The most popular theory right now is Seth Rollins, and I'll be honest with you, the curb stomp as the weapon of choice feels like a breadcrumb WWE laid intentionally. But here's my counterthought. Would WWE really be that obvious? If Seth Rollins is the masked man, they've essentially already told us. Unless they're counting on us to think it's too obvious and hit us with a swerve. Wrestling is layers within layers. I also want you to consider this. Jake Paul has been floating around the WWE. Whatever the answer is, the reveal is going to be massive. And if it's not, WWE will have wasted the best slow burn mystery they've built in years. Alright, let's talk about the Elimination Chamber qualifiers, because both matches delivered on different levels and both gave us some genuine surprises. First up on the women's side, Asuka versus Bayley versus Natty in a triple threat to determine the fourth entrant in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. And going in, Asuka now joins Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, and Alexa Bliss in the field, with 2 spots still remaining. The match started with Asuka getting knocked to the outside almost immediately, which allowed Bayley and Natty to briefly go one-on-one. Natty locked in a bow and arrow submission. Always a treat to watch her work. Her technical precision is something that gets underappreciated in the current era of WWE. But Asuka came back in and broke it up before anything decisive could happen. The three-way chemistry worked well. Asuka brought her explosive striking and unpredictability, Bayley brought her ring intelligence and veteran instincts, and Natty was the grounded technical anchor. At one point, Bayley connected with a running knee to the side of Natty's head and followed it with her hanging neckbreaker. The Judgment Day member was looking dangerous. Then Asuka hit a hip attack on Natty. Bayley went for a Bayley to belly on Asuka. Got the move. Went for the pin. Asuka kicked out. And then, in one smooth transition, Asuka cinched in the Asuka lock, her signature crossface submission. Right there on the mat. Bayley had nowhere to go. She tapped out. Just like that, Asuka punched her ticket to the Elimination Chamber. The Empress of Tomorrow is back in a major match, and she looked every bit like someone who belongs in that chamber. But the moment after the match? That's what got people talking. Maxine Dupree came charging down to the ring and blindsided Natty on the ramp, raining down right and left hands before referees finally separated them. This feud has been simmering for a while, and it officially boiled over tonight. Maxine Dupree is not here to be overlooked anymore. Comment below. Do you think Maxine Dupree is ready for a bigger spotlight in WWE? Yes or no?